Welcome everyone to the Reading Writing Corner. I am your host, Leanne, and I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day. And this is your first time here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if not, welcome back. Welcome back. We are so great to have you. This is, of course, July 1st. My wrap-up for June and my TBR for July. So, right after this, we're going to insert two little clips for you to see that happened, and then we'll jump right back in to this. I wanted to pop in and say it is not even the 10th of June. Technically it's the 7th of June right now, and I am actually on the last book that we pulled from my TBR. The thing of the matter is that I DNF'd this book. I was about, I wasn't in it very long. I was on page 44, and it just wasn't vibing with me. I wasn't interested in it. I just didn't want to read it. I don't know, maybe it was the wrong month for this or something, but I DNF'd it, so that was quickly solved on that case of whether or not I'd be reading that hunk. And then this one, which I didn't think I was going to DNF because I thought I was going to enjoy it. Yeah, no, I DNF'd it too. I totally DNF'd it. And I DNF'd it on page 61, unfortunately. It wasn't the religiousness in it or of the feudal time in Japan where Christianity was being prosecuted and everything. It was just that I didn't like the pacing of the story. I didn't like the way the story was written more than anything else. It didn't draw me in. It didn't suck me in like I thought it would. And I guess things that are based off from real life are not really things I enjoy reading. Like, I don't know how I ever got through Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. I didn't. I guess I just continued reading it, but I didn't really like it. I should have DNF'd that one too, to be honest. So these will be, I'll DNF review them in a later episode, or in their own little episodes, and at the end of the year, they will be unhauled from my library, my bookshelves. So, with that said, it is only the 7th, and I should have this read most likely by tomorrow, because I mean, like, it's Saturday, and I really won't have much to do Saturday. So, with that said, I've got to have more to read for the month. So, let's pick out book number 6. Okay, 6. And see where it goes. In that matter. You just popped out, but I don't want you because you're just not it. No, quit falling all over the place. And give me this one. Hopefully it's from another bookshelf, because a lot of these have been from my first bookshelf, which, I mean, it's nice, but it's in the same stack area, second row, and it just really needs to be other places. I'm definitely picking another one after this, but I don't know how well you can focus on this camera, but Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 1 by Yoshihiro Togashi. That won't take me very long to read. I mean, seriously, it's a manga. It definitely won't take me very long to read it. But I was saying in the June TBR thing that I haven't drawn a manga yet. Well, here you go. A manga has been drawn. And everything. So I need to number that too, don't I? So there's 6. And with that said, we'll dig in for another one. And I want you to know that I want something. Oh, this one feels, I don't know, weird. This is Wolf Untamed. Wolf Untamed by Pamela Palmer. I don't know if you can read that, guys. Seriously. This is a feral warriors novel. A thriller. It's labeled on the back of this thing by the sticker, which I don't think it is because it's also a romance novel. Like, dude, you categorize it the wrong way. Anyways, as you can see, I got it for $3. If you live in a country where Dollar Generals exist, that's a Dollar General one. It's actually the first time I picked up the series was from there. So, this will be my next one. And I probably will get through this one pretty good. I mean, it looks thick-ish. The system I have set up for the books now that make it a little easier for me this month is, so there are 347 pages, and I'll probably like split it up in a certain amount of pages to read a day and be done it within a certain amount of days. So there is that. That book is actually turned the wrong way, so it's on that book that way too. We will do one more drawing, because instead of just reading them at work and a little bit in the morning before I go to work, I'll read them when I come home and while I'm at work too, so that way I get the full scope of it. This one, I don't know what these things are, but actually it was from a different bookshelf, which is really good because the 8 also came off that bookshelf. So, okay. The Hunt for Atlantis by Andy McDermott. He's actually a really good writer. I've read a lot of the books from his thing, but there's some I haven't read, but so, let's see. And because I think I'm going to do an excellent job of getting this book done too, we're going to be bold and pull one more book out of the horror TBR in the hopes that we get to it. But if we don't get to any of these, we'll just put them back in the TBR so they can be read later. Okay, last one that I'm pulling again for June reading that maybe I'll get to, maybe I won't. It is False Memory by Dan Crocos, which I don't even have to get out of my chair to get. This is a thrifted book too. That's why it's got this bent thing. It's a Hypernium. No fucking way. Well, I'm definitely not unhauling this book, because as far as I know, it's the first one that I've ever had, but like, that's signed, physically hand signed by the author. Like, are you shitting me? Oh, okay. Well, that, I don't know who that is or when they were in the 6th grade, but congratulations, you unhauled a signed copy of Dan Kronos with bent pages. Oh, severely bent pages, because it literally goes up to there for bent pages and on the cover. So yeah, I can't believe I'm speechless, folks. I'm speechless. I thrifted book with a sign in it, and it's only cost me 50 cents. I'm sorry, Dan Kronos. I got your book for 50 cents, but I will happily read it. I just don't, I'm not gonna be able to get over that. Like, I'll be watching these YouTube channels where people be like, they got a thrifted book and it's like, it's a signed copy, and I'm just like, I've never thrifted a book with that's a signed copy. Well, yes you have. You've had this on your shelf for like several months now, and you didn't know it was a signed copy. Oh, they treated this book so poorly. Anyways, next time the video will happen, well, either because I ran out of books again, you'll see me next time you see me, will either be for the June wrap-up, July TBR, or it'll be because I ran out of books and I had to come back and get some more. So, I'll be back. Okay, everybody, just got home from work and I found this on my doorstep. I'm so excited. So, I've already pre-cut it. Or I thought I did. Yeah, pre-cut it. So, what's in it? Oh, okay. So, I did not buy this because it was $85. I wanted to, but I didn't have the money at the time to buy it. So, that's a little sad. Oh, what's in here? Ooh, look at this. This is a bookmark from Wraithmark Creatives for Neon Ghost, which is Sim, with a sign on the back for Daniel B. Green. This is actually the second signed copy of something I've gotten. Let's open it. They really did not want anything to happen to the book, did they? Guys, they really did not want anything happening to this book. And here you are. So, A Witch's Sin. Neon Ghost, Book 1 by Daniel B. Green. What would you do to keep your dream ad-free? So, oh, yeah, I can't show you that. But, it's a nice, look at this. This is a nice, oh, no, come back here. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, okay, look, I can show you this page. I mean, I could technically just ignore that, okay? Yeah, okay. Got it. I'm gonna look ghosty. So, here's the next page. Signed copy. My second signed book. This is what I actually bought. So happy for it. I can't wait to pull it out of my TBR list, because that's where I get to put it. After I rearrange my bookshelf to put it on there. Because it's gonna need to go on my bookshelf. I have to put all those books back on there before I do that, so I can find where it'll fit. There's that. I have read Yu Yu Hakusho. I finished Long Live the Pumpkin Cream, and I read the Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 1. It was very easy to. So I realized when I looked after the recording that Wolfenstein is actually the last book in the series, and this is the first book in the series. So I just switched it out with this one. So I read it. You can see, completely read. the day of this recording, this part of the recording, is June 17th. So I have plenty of time to finish off The Hunt for Atlantis and False Memory. And then we're going to go from there. If I need to, I'll come back and pull another book to read. Okay? So, see you then. Okay, folks. So, as you saw in the previous video, I had, of course, completed my original June TBR that y'all saw on June 1st or whenever you saw it after June 1st. So, I read Polar Nights. I gave it a 4, I believe, because Polar Nights was not, well, it was not what I thought it was going to be, but also at the same time, it was really good. And I liked how it had throwbacks to the Forest of Shadows and Dangerous Secrets, which I have not actually read yet, by different authors. And why I gave it a 4 and not a 5 is because, well, for one, it's not its own original tale, and for two, I think it could have been written better. But that's just my opinion. Okay? As for The 8 by Catherine Neville, I just, like I said, like you just saw, I couldn't get into it. It was just not the read for me. I tried to be hyped up for it, tried to be excited for it, but chess, I'm not into chess. And this book is about chess and dangerous adventures. And it was supposed to be a lot like the Angels and Demons that I read. But I couldn't get into it. Okay? So I DNF'd it. The next book I read, tried to read, was Silence by Shusaku Endo. And I realized that I actually read more previously. Maybe. Not really sure. But I had read this slightly before, some of it. And I'm not sure, I don't remember if I did or not, if I finished it the first time around, but I couldn't read it this time around, and I really wanted to. But it just, the characters seemed a little flat, and the pacing was a little long, and it really long. I did not like the pacing at all in the story. The story was interesting, but the characters just fell flat to me, and the pacing was just all wrong. I couldn't get into it like I wanted to. The next book I read, Breach of Peace by Daniel B. Green. And now that I have Neon Ghost up there, there is a possibility of drawing Neon Ghost. Most likely next month I'll start drawing either white or orange, because I'll be adding a new color starting next month when I read off the rest of July. So that way it'll be another color being added in, and then once I get done that paper, I'll add in another color. So that way at the end, maybe even the end of the year, it'll be colorful paper. And I'll just be random books, maybe series and stuff like that. Well, most of it will be from series, so it'll be interesting to see where I go once I have all different types of paper in there. So, this, I believe, I wanted to like it. I didn't DNF it, but I'm going to read the second one because I'm hoping the second one has more to it. This was like a setup of the world and everything, but the cliffhanger, where there was no happy ending, it just didn't seem right to me. I feel like maybe he should have done a better ending than this, because it didn't click in the way I thought it would. It was an interesting story, don't get me wrong. The concept he has is very interesting. But for all your main characters to have something happen to them is not to spoil, because I don't want to spoil in case you haven't read it. There should have been more to this. This should have been longer. I understand it's a novella, and it was his first book, so I gave him leeway on that. And then, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, Long Live the Pumpkin by Shay Earnshaw. I really enjoyed this. Oh, I think I gave Breach a Peace. I don't remember when I gave Breach a Peace. The 8 and Silent were 2. Breach of Peace was a 3 because I felt like it could have been written better and the world explored more. And I'm really sad to see that I won't be able to read the updated version of it because The Lawful Times was too expensive for me to buy the re-edited version and redone version. Maybe later on down the road I might be able to come across one that's going to be cheaper. But I also don't do ebooks, so there's just no way I'm going to invest in that. And, well, I say I don't read ebooks, but I read one series of ebooks, and that's only because I read them before and I really liked them, and they're never going to be published traditionally. But I'm just really sad that I don't get to read the updated version of it, because maybe it would be bump it up to a 3.5 or even a 4 in that circumstances. But with financial straps to me, it just wasn't plausible at the time that the Kickstarter was going on for me to purchase it. Maybe it'll be something that will be purchasable in the future with less money to it. We'll see. But anyways, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw. I really enjoyed this. I rated it a 4 though because I didn't like some of the little plotties in here to deal with Sally. But I loved the fact that Sally was the main center of attention. She was the main character. Everything revolved around her actions and what she did. And I love that. I love that for her. I love that she had a spotlight, if you will. Now, as for this stack here of lovely books, these were drawn about June 7th, and I gotta say that I was on track to actually draw one more book, maybe, to read for the last week, but I slowed down a little bit in the reading because I was just like, I gotta get prepared for the Camp National Novel Writing Month for July. I have to sit there and slow down for my own pacing because I'm going a little too fast, and I need to just slow down and take a couple days and not read, like maybe a day or two here and there not to read. So slogging through, so I didn't have to slog through and feel like I had to rush, and I could enjoy the books more, which is what I did when I started The Hunt for Atlantis and finished with False Memory, which I did the 27th. Finished it on the 27th. So, Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho. It is my favorite manga / anime, and if I had Netflix, I'd watched the live version and hope they didn't butcher it to the point where I didn't want to watch it anymore. Pray that they did a good job with it. Pray, because one day I will watch it, and I hope it's going to be good. Because Yusuke's my man, okay? He is my delinquent punk with a gold of heart man. Can't convince me otherwise. Cannot convince me otherwise. So, this was a short read. It took me about a day to read it. I say a day because I started it immediately after I finished Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, and then I had to go to sleep. And then I finished it the next day. So, it was glorious to reread it. And I actually like the fact that this has more than the anime does, because there's certain events that happen in the anime, and then there's a lot more that happens in the manga. So, there's that. Next, okay, I know you guys saw me previously with Wolf Untamed for the draw, but I went through and I wanted to make sure I had the right book for book 1 of this series, the Feral Warrior series, and no I didn't. Wolf Untamed is the last book, so I popped that one back. So I haven't popped that one in, but I will when it comes up. And then I just took out, well, I didn't pop it back in. I crumpled it up and threw it away, and I said, okay, it's gonna be Desire Untamed, because I didn't want to not read it, and I didn't want to redraw. It felt cheating, so I said I grabbed the Feral Warriors first book, or I thought it was, so I'm going to read the actual Feral Warriors first book, which is Desire Untamed. And I did put them back in order, the correct order. So there's no confusing it this time around. And this is a lot like the Midnight Breed and the Nightwalker series. Like I thought. A plot within an overarching plot which will span 8 books. This one will span 8 books. So there's that. I'm pretty sure I gave this a 4. Because I didn't like some of the things that happened that deals with rituals. That's all I'm going to say. And if you want to know more, watch the review for it when it comes out. Eventually. Because I got a backlog of reviews that come out. Then, The Lovely, The Hunt for Atlantis by Andy McDermott. I have actually read several of this. Of Nina Wilde and Eddie Chase's epic adventures. Let me tell you, heart-throbbing, pulse-pounding, action, non-stop, crisis after crisis. Oh my lord, let me tell you, they go from one crisis to the next crisis to the next crisis, even though they have lulls in between them. You know, you have a crisis, a little low, crisis, a little low, crisis, a little low, and they're trying. They're trying to stay ahead of the hunt for Atlantis. The legend is real. The race to prove it will be murder. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on in here. Okay. A lot goes on in here. And it's a 4. Because, well, is it a 4? What did I rate this as? I don't remember. Did I even write down my rate? Do I have a rate this for this? No, I haven't wrote the rate down. I'm going to say 4.5. Why 4.5? It's a 4.5. Why 4.5? Because it's Atlantis. Atlantis is done so many times. And I love the twist on Atlantis. I love the twist in here about Atlantis. But I don't know if this was a good first one to start with. Maybe if you introduce something different. Like for the second one, which is whatever it's called. Now, my last one is False Memory by Dan Crocos. It's a 3. I'm going to write it as a 3. And I'm going to do that right now, actually. We're going to go on this and we're going to say it's a 3. It's a 3 because the plot was really interesting. I loved the plot. I gotta say, the plot was the highlight of the whole thing. Girl wakes up, no memories, does something terrifying, and a boy shows up, and she's like, what do I do? Who do I trust? And I like that. I love that. But the twist that comes into it, not so much. Not so much. No. So there's that. Ooh. So I haven't actually, let's do this. Alrighty. So I haven't recorded any of these reviews yet as of this recording and posting. So I will get to that eventually. That's why they're up here right now like this and not put up. On top of that, I still have to finish the review writing for The Hunt for Atlantis and False Memory. Those I still have to write reports for. So those are coming. It's just going to take a minute. So with that in mind, my TBR Haru. Haru! We're going to do things a little different. For the month of July, which is Camp July for me, for National Novel Writing Month, I'm going to attempt to get some writing done. And I may even do some little vlogs about the attempts to get the writing done. Because I've got 3 projects that I want to get through and do some writing for. 2 of which are fan fiction, and no, I won't tell you my username for it, nor what those fan fictions are. You're just going to have to live with never knowing. And the other one is one I'm working on to hopefully one day publish. So, there's that. Okay. So we're going to draw 3 books, and if I get through those 3 books, if the mercy of not writing and recharging my batteries days, I will draw another book, which I will insert into that new video. So we're gonna draw 3, and we're gonna hope they're not chunky, because if they're chunky, that's it. I'm just not gonna read anything else but those. And this is A Night to Remember by Walter Lord. You can see it from back here, but you couldn't see it from up there. So A Night to Remember by Walter Lord is actually right here. I don't have to go very far. I've just got to move these things. We've actually never pulled off the shelf, which is actually quite nice. Alright, so A Night to Remember by Walter Lord is actually about the Titanic. Now, I do not know if this book is actually written by, if this is actually the true story of the night that the Titanic sank by a survivor, or if it's fiction based. We'll find out and see. It's actually quite short too, so I don't know how long it'll take me to read this. Oh, it's got a list of the names of the passengers. It's got a list of all the names of the passengers. Probably all the people who didn't make it. Oh, they have the ones saved in italics, but the ones that aren't are not in the italics. Okay, so yeah, it has all the passengers list in it, which is interesting. But anyways, that is the first book, A Night to Remember. Interesting. Now we're just getting into all my bookshelves. Which we just go like that. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's draw the next one. Oh, there we go. No, there's so many that fell. And I just dropped the one I wanted. Oh my. Oh. 3 fell. Oh, sorry. You lost. Alrighty, this one. Another classic. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So we're going to read a classic. I've read this before, once. or was it twice? Once in high school, once in college. Yeah, this one was my college version. And there's a reason why I know that. Because in college, I didn't have no Post-its. I had clips. So I had paper clips in here, and you can still see the lovely paper clip indents there. But I also didn't use a highlighter. I just underlined instead. So it's going to be interesting to reread this and see where my thoughts are from college, which was an extremely long time, but it's been over 10 years since then, and see what my thoughts have like since 10 years ago when I first read this. And it's not a chunky one, so I might just draw a fourth for support, because I thought I'd get a chunky boy. And maybe if my third one is a chunky boy, I might just leave it at 3 and possibly draw 4. But let's see. I'm trying to get different places so that way it's not all within the same area, but it's all mixed up, so honestly can't tell you anything. So before I started doing my TBRs, which I started in May, in April I had actually read Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, and I was, before I decided to do the TBR thing and do a randomized where I pull out of my Haru, I was gonna read this book next, but since I started doing my Haru TBRs, I put it back up there saying I'm not, and I might not, but I'll put it in here anyways. Oh, this is the wrong one anyways. This is the Da Vinci Code by Josh McDowell, which is supposed to be debunk of the actual Da Vinci Code. I thought I saw the Da Vinci Code and I was like, oh, this is Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown, but it's not. Never mind. Anyways, this is just a very short book. Like The Night to Remember, and it's just about debunking the Da Vinci Code. There's that. I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy this debunking or not. We'll see, because it's a quest for answers, the Da Vinci Code by Josh McDowell. We'll see how well this goes. I bought it because I thought it was something else to do with the Da Vinci Code, and then I read what it said and I was like, oh, because this is just debunking whether it's fact or fiction for Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code, which I haven't read, but I've seen the movie of, so I do have some preface for that. Since all 3 of them are short books, we are actually going to draw a 4th one, because I thought I was going to grab a chunky, and I didn't grab a chunky. Why do you do this to me? Make my life so hard. That's what I get for reading it like that, okay? What is this? Scent of Roses by Kate Martin. Where are you, Kate Martin? Okay, so this is a little chunky. Yeah. I don't like that I have the Summer Read sticker on here. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a romance/thriller. So yes, I'm pretty sure This is a standalone romantic suspense novel. Thrilling romantic suspense novel. Standalone, maybe. I don't know. Oh, no. It's not. It's part of the. It's actually part of a series. I think so. I think that's what I found out. But I don't have the rest of the series. The other three are thin books. I can probably get through them relatively quick. And one of them isn't. So this is my July TBR. Yes, it's a little small. I will cut into the August TBR thing with an update if I read all of them for the end of July. There are 31 days, so you would think there would be more books, but like I said, NaNoWriMo is coming up, and that's going to take precedence over a lot of stuff. I've already geared up and got a lot of stuff done for my other YouTube channel that I've got, so I don't have to worry about recordings, and I'm going to finish up and gear up for this channel and have all the things I need edited for it, so that way I don't have to worry about anything besides uploading and reading. Well, in reading and writing. So uploading, reading, and writing is my goal for July. Maybe I have to edit a thing or two here or there. I'm not really sure, but those shouldn't take me no more than, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is what I got going. If you think I deserve a like, comment, or even a lovely subscription, drop it down below. We'll see you next illusion.